Hello YouTube, welcome back to Angry Dave's Adult RC. I am your host, Angry Dave. Grab yourself a cocktail or beer, get the kids out of the room, grab some tools, and let's wrench on some RCs. Today, as you can probably already tell, we're going to be unboxing the new Axial SCX24 Deadbolt. I love the little stuff. It's great for playing inside, especially when the weather sucks outside. So went ahead and grabbed another one of these to add to the tiny fleet. There's also another video I did on my tiny fleet. I'll try to put a link in the video description. And so let's get to checking this thing out. So, as you can see right through the box. This is a very similar configuration box to the ECX Mini Barrage that I think was discontinued and more or less replaced with this by Horizon when they took over. Obviously got Horizon branding on the box. And it's not just a rebodied Barrage, it's a whole new truck, different engineering, different build. And then, so yeah, we got your standard, pretty decent Axial box art. RTR, LEDs included. I think it has some bumper lights, which is kind of an odd choice since it's got this huge freaking rack of lights across the top, but I don't think they actually work. Side of the box, nothing terribly special. Tells you which color you selected. Obviously we went with the red. Tells you what's included. So you get the radio, comes with the servo, ESC receiver combo, USB charger, battery, motor, and oh, sounds like it even comes with the double A's for the transmitter. That's pretty cool. So that is a true RTR. Comes with absolutely everything that you need to run it. On the back, as usual, we're going to have some features. Starting with the worm drive. That's a pretty cool setup. Gets the drive shafts tucked way up into the chassis, so you don't have to worry about them getting hung up on stuff. Got a scale, 24th scale, version of the 10th scale SCX10 chassis. I don't know how exact a copy it is, but it's a it's a twin rail chassis. They're all pretty similar. And then we got our little faux piggyback shocks there. I'm sure those are probably oilless, like most of the shocks on these little guys are. Got splined and sleeved drive shafts. There's a shot of the whole axle assembly. You can see how that drive shaft's going to come into that top portion and then worm drive down into the axle. So that'll give you a whole lot more clearance than you would normally have with the drive shafts. You're not going to have to worry about those hanging up on stuff. And then a quick little shot of the steel axles, which is a nice feature, no matter what size truck you got. And then here we go. We got a little bit more box art, a little bit more feature stuff. And then here's the dimensions. It says it only weighs a half a pound. Not for little children, just like this show. Alright, enough of this bullshit. Let's grab a razor knife and cut this fucker open. Ooh, shiny new truck. So here we got, actually got Onyx batteries for the controller. That's kind of nice. So you got a spare drive shaft, some spare links. There's the USB charger, and then of course we have the directions, all that good stuff. The truck itself, get to that in just a second. cardboard that doesn't hold anything. And a radio. There we go. So there's a new 2.4 gigahertz radio. Nice comfortable grip, doesn't feel too bad. Got foam on the wheel. I'm used to the Tactic controller coming with stock Axial stuff, but I don't really have a problem with this one. I kind of like that hinged, see how long that takes to break. Alright. Let's cut her loose. Oh, fuck you. Did they actually manage to put this in with only one zip tie? Oh yeah, they did. Beautiful. Look at that. Pull this cardboard shit out of the way. So yeah, that's a pretty sweet little truck there. I like it. Feels good. We got, feels like there's no foams. And I think I hear venting, but got some long suspension and long drive shaft in the rear. But it looks like it's got some pretty decent clearance. You look underneath. It's got a good amount of space up to the pumpkin. This thing is not really bulbous, which is nice. So that should help it. Let's get the body off and see what it looks like underneath. Alright, so here's a new feature that Axial's put on a couple of trucks lately that's pretty cool. Hinged body. Pull out 2 front pins and up she goes. I like that. There we go. Battery included. Oh, can you see it? So we got a 30C discharge, 350 milliamp hour, 2S dynamite. Seems like a lot of these little trucks come with dynamite batteries. I haven't had any trouble with them, so no big deal. That's a little odd. That's not an end you usually see on a battery, but again, whatever. If it does the job, it does the job. Inside here, we got a AE6, which is a receiver speed control combo. I like the fact that it's kind of mounted up front. Get the battery in the center here. We'll see how the center of gravity works. I generally like to have the batteries kind of up front, especially for climbing. Gives you a little more weight over the front tires, but licensed Nitto tires, which is kind of cool. Decent looking, pretty well done. Had a nice tread. Ooh, there we go. Alright, enough looking at it. Let's charge up the battery and fucking play with it. Real quick, here's a little comparison with the Barrage. You can see we got a longer wheelbase on the Axial here. The width is about the same, but it does look like there's going to be more clearance under the Axial. The tires are bigger, and it still looks like the pumpkin is a lot smaller. You can see on the Barrage the pumpkin is fucking huge on that axle, compared to the little tiny petite one here because of the worm gear. They feel like they're probably about the same weight. This one feels a little bit heavier right now just because I got this hard body on it, but if it had the Lexan body on it, it would probably feel about the same. Very similar configuration. The only deal is with this truck, the speed control is in the back. So I'm able to put the battery in the front, but there's no way to do anything in the middle because the transmission's right there and there's no tray or anything like that. So excuse me while I choke to death. With this one having the electronics in the front, that'll definitely help. And then allowing you to put the battery in the middle, that'll keep the majority of that weight towards the front, or at least, you know, from the center forward, even if it's not right over the front axle. Having the electronics right over the back axle in this is not the best configuration. So improvements on this all around, and the longer wheelbase will probably keep it from wanting to flip over. This one going up an incline really wants to pull the front wheels up and roll over backwards. All right, let's see how it crawls. Well, so far it's a super torquey little guy. Seems to be geared really well. Tires grip well. Got good articulation. You can actually drive it at kind of a scale pace. Yeah, you can tell they put some real thought into the design of this truck, and it shows. The thing performs smoother and easier on this crawler course than any of my other 24 scale, or technically the RC 4-wheel drive is an 18th scale, but it's got nothing on this thing. As I get it stuck. Yeah, I really don't think I can say enough good about how this truck performs. So there it is, the SCX24. Pretty capable little truck. Crawls like a bastard, has nice torque, nice gearing, great suspension flex, and just that overall axial quality that we've all grown accustomed to. So, yeah, run to the internet and drop about 110 bucks and have yourself one. It's a great time. I highly recommend it. So don't forget to share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button, leave a comment, and join us next time on Adult RC, where grown-up time is playtime.